Good evening. This is Zambia Today, and these are the headlines. A prominent Zambian civil society group is predicting a sweeping victory for President Hichilema in the 2026 general elections. Governance and Development Advocate Zambia, known as GODAZA, says the incumbent is poised to win by a significantly larger margin. The group's executive director, Elias Mulenga, cites fulfilled promises, governance reforms, and a fractured opposition. First, expanded access to free primary and secondary education. Second, more scholarships and subsidized university meals. Third, cash transfer programs for vulnerable households. GODAZA says over 50,000 jobs have been created across education and health sectors. Also in infrastructure projects, public recruitment adding positions, and agriculture, where incentives have drawn private investment. Mulenga also highlights transparency, fiscal discipline, and anti-corruption efforts as boosting public trust. He says these reforms have attracted international support and investment. These policies, GODAZA says, are visible across provinces from Lusaka to rural districts. All told, the group projects a far larger margin than in 2021, a forecast that could reshape the 2026 race. We now examine the specific achievements GODAZA cites and how voters are responding. GODAZA highlights free primary and secondary education as a cornerstone achievement, opening classrooms to thousands of children. The policy, they say, removes financial barriers for low-income families. Scholarships and subsidized university meals are cited as reinforcing the pro-poor image of the administration. Cash transfer programs aimed at vulnerable households are another major plank, providing direct financial relief. GODAZA reports that these transfers have contributed to poverty reduction in several provinces. Their analysis combines program data and grassroots feedback to reach this conclusion. On jobs, GODAZA claims more than 50,000 positions have been created since the UPND took office. These span education and health sectors and include infrastructure and agriculture, aided by private investment incentives. Mulenga argues these tangible outcomes resonate in rural constituencies where opportunities were limited. Youth employment and skills programs are presented as absorbing new entrants into the labor force. GODAZA says grassroots feedback confirms improved sentiment for the administration. Yet GODAZA's public endorsement raises questions about the role of civil society. Is this analysis or partisan advocacy? The group maintains its findings are rooted in empirical evidence, not political allegiance. Here is a quick recap of the achievements GODAZA lists. GODAZA faults the opposition for lacking a unified front and a compelling alternative vision. They say unclear policy platforms and weak cohesion undermine the opposition's prospects. Mulenga even suggested some opposition leaders consider endorsing President Hichilema rather than fielding weak candidates. Political analysts warn that elections are affected by turnout, media narratives, and unforeseen events, factors that could change the picture. Voter mobilization and the opposition's ability to regroup remain important wildcards. Electoral institutions, legal challenges, and observation will also play a role in any final outcome. A landslide win, GODAZA argues, would let the president deepen reforms, accelerate infrastructure projects, and push economic diversification. It could embolden more ambitious industrial and regional partnership policies, but it also raises expectations and greater responsibility for delivery under economic pressures. Analysts emphasize sustained engagement, policy innovation, and responsiveness to citizens. The opposition's ability to mobilize credible alternatives should not be underestimated. For now, GODAZA projects an advantage for the ruling party, but the road to 2026 remains dynamic. Education, social welfare, jobs, and governance reforms. The issues that, GODAZA says, will shape the vote. Thanks for watching Zambia Today. Share this report and stay engaged. I'm your reporter.